Rockeyez would like to welcome Brett Petrusek from Downtread. Hey man, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? It's Petrusek. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks. My fault. Anyway, you got a new CD out, Stand Your Ground. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's swinging hard and heavy, kind of right out of the gate. It's similar to our first album, 144, but I think probably the biggest shift is just the band's like cohesion together as a unit, and the fact that the songs I think are just a little bit more aggressive. We still kind of have a poppy, memorable kind of sing-songy chorus thing happening that I think we're known for, but double kick stuff from Eric is a little more in your face. The riffs are a bit heavier, and yeah, that's that.
Very cool, very cool. I listened to the complete CD plenty of times, and it's really a hard-hitting CD. I enjoyed listening. I'm pretty sure fans would, who don't know the band, will love this CD. I mean, you got hard edge stuff, you got some melodic stuff, you got great guitar work, and full great production. Hopefully, fans support this and go out and buy it. Let me go back a little bit. You graduated from Minneapolis College of Arts and Design. How'd that work out there?
You know what? Well, yeah, that's a little bit of a curve for me. It's a great school. It's a fantastic school. I actually went for animation as my major, but somewhere through my process there, I shifted over to illustration. I think I like the immediate rewards, and I learned a lot about just observation in general, and art. As you see, the cover art is my artwork. As most of the Downtread art you see is kind of all generated from me and the band. So
cool. So when did the band actually start?
Gosh, who knows? Light years ago. No, it must have been 2007, 2008, right around there.
Right.
And it was kind of a mutation from the last group that Robert, the bass player, and I were in, called 57 Stitch. We started playing with Eric on drums, and Eric brings kind of a different energy to the band. I mean, he's all energy. I mean, you hear the guys drumming, it's all energy. I mean, you can't argue with that. He brought such an aggressive, fresh flavor to what we were doing. It just didn't even make sense to be the same band anymore. So, in seeing that it was only two original members at that point, thus, we became Downtread. And, just kind of through mutation or osmosis, I guess, over the past few years, we became a three-guitar band, which became, to me, is a really cool thing. It's just such a big sonic wall of,
Right.
crushing guitar.
Cool. And now, on your debut album, you featured a couple tracks by George Lynch. How'd that work out? Did you actually get to work with him? Was it done on WAV files? How'd that go down?
It was a super cool experience. We actually did work with George. Lynch was always kind of my big childhood guitar hero. First it was Schenker, Randy Rhoads, and then I think when Lynch came out, I was stick a fork in me. I'm done. He was my favorite player. I just loved his stuff, and throughout the years, I had run into him on different occasions at shows or through another record label thing I was working on or whatever. Through my work with Premier Guitar, you name it, we ran into each other, and eventually we just kind of connected and became pretty good buddies. Realized we were wired kind of the same way. He had an interesting way of saying, hey, you're kind of like this, I'm kind of like that. That's probably why you relate to what I do,
Right.
And maybe how his music or the music he creates would speak to me, simply by saying, hey, it's, music is kind of a form of communication that transcends all language. And, if people relate to things and they're wired the same way, well, it's pretty normal for somebody to respond to that dude's form of communication. So one thing led to another, and I asked George if he'd play a couple tracks on my album, and he obliged. And we were in the studio, and it was so cool. On the one song, on the ballad, he looked over at one point and he's like, "Well, what do you think?" And I remember looking at him saying, "I don't know, play something like David Gilmour." And the dude just soared this lead, and shut his eyes and just started playing over the whole track. It was fantastic. So.
Cool. Now, is your favorite part about being a musician touring? Because I see you tour all over the place. I mean, I'm at Rocklahoma, all these places. How's touring going?
I love playing live shows. I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, there's a feeling that you get when you connect with an audience when you're on stage playing your stuff. There's just kind of a carnal thing that comes out. Downtread is for sure, it really comes to life on stage. I mean, there's something about this band, and I mean, I got to attribute a lot of that to our drummer. The guy just brings so much visual fire and force or whatever that, if you don't, just throw it down with all your might, power, ability, and, produce, you're just going to get run over by him. So I think, that part of it's fantastic, but I also, I really love being in the studio too, which is a different thing, but the creation of, hearing guitars get layered up and, the songs coming together, I'm kind of torn. I don't know if I could necessarily pick one over the other, but I love them both.
Cool. At one point, did you open for Judas Priest?
We did.
Cool. Tell me how that went.
That show actually was just kind of a last-minute thing at Myth, which is a big venue here in Minneapolis, and I think there was a band on the bill called Metal Church that I'm sure everybody's heard of.
Right.
One thing led to another, and, we got a call to do the show. And, of course, psyched up to do it. I love Priest.
Right.
I mean, who doesn't? Some of the early records are fantastic. But we got up and we just did our thing. I think it was the first show, actually. I was kind of scared, that we were going to be a little too lightweight for the crowd that was expecting Metal Church. I'm sure some folks were like, "Who the hell are these guys with bleached out hair or whatever?" But I think we won the respect of the fans there, got some new folks into us, and hey man, I can say, look, my band opened for Judas Priest. That's pretty cool, right?
Oh, definitely.
So.
Definitely. Now, listen to the Downtread CD again. Really, I read and stuff like that, and they said it's kind of poppy. To me, it's not. I think it's more hard edge, towards like a Judas Priest than one of the alternative bands. Was that kind of like the feel you wanted to go with, like a hard edge type songs?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. Who knows what the hell we are? I think we just kind of do what we do.
Right.
I kind of bring. I think it's, Downtread comes together. I think the two most predominant forces are probably, my guitar riffing and Eric's drumming, and then, what I'm doing on lead vocals. But, so I guess that's three things. I grew up on a lot of the hard heavy, and I love the big riffs, going back to, even, 70s, hard rock guitar players all the way up through current, to bands like, I love the Chevelle riffs, I love the Disturbed riffs. At the same time, I mean, give me Angus Young any day of the week, Judas Priest, Maiden, any, going back to where it all started. I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan, and I really like the albums with Dio singing. Diary of a Madman was a favorite, so. I think it just kind of comes out like it does. Heavy, for sure. Yeah, it's heavy. But I think it's not, heavy for the sake of being heavy. I think there's still some melody there, But if you're telling me it's rough and tough, that's good,
Yeah, especially when I sit back and I start hearing the guitar playing. I said, holy shit. you know, that stuff's fucking good. You know?
Ah, well, hot damn. I mean, as it says in the bio, I mean, for me, that's it. You know, if one guy out there goes, "Fuck, this is great music," and you know, I love this playing, and I'm connecting to it, or it's inspiring me. I mean, that's really what it's all about. You know, I mean, when I was, you know, a kid and listening to all my favorite records growing up, and I'd get goosebumps on my arms. You know, hearing. You know, songs off of you know, Randy Rhoads playing on you know, the Ozzy records. That's why I was into music. You know, it's the same reason we can appreciate art.
Cool.
You know, if it moves you on that level, that's what it's about. You know.
Tell me a little bit about more shit guitarists don't say.
I
was watching it this morning. I said, "What the fuck's this?"
Okay, so guitarsquid.com. If you're into guitar, it's a fucking fantastic website. It's news for all things guitar. Some of these things may be funny. Some of these things may be, you know, serious guitar news. Some of them may be product related. But you know, it's a wacky, whimsical, contagious, infectious guitar website. And you know, I'd say it's probably not a big secret. I work with Premier Guitar Magazine,
right.
And our friends at Guitar Squid, Seth, the editor, had kind of put this project together. There was a video out there called "Shit Guitarists Say," and this was kind of the anecdote or the response to that. Shit guitarists don't say.
Right.
Teddy and I happened to be in Chicago. At his shop making music, and we put this crazy ass little thing together, and we thought it was pretty funny, and you know, it's there for your enjoyment. It's you know, go to guitarsquid.com, or you can search on the internet "Shit Guitarists Don't Say."
Yeah, that's I watched it this morning. It was very interesting. You know. So, what
well,
do you
hopefully
do?
it made you laugh.
It did. You know, I go, oh shit, is he a movie star or is he a rock star? You know,
Yeah.
so, you know, it was very cool. So what do you do in your spare time? It seems like you got so many projects going on. How do you have any time for anything?
I don't. That's the secret to life. Just keep moving from one thing to another, and you know, somehow you'll rejuvenate yourself. You know, really spare time. You know, I got two little kids that I love dearly. You know, they're both. You know, while my little girl is taking a liking to guitar and singing in a big way. I think the boy's more of a drummer.
Cool.
And you know, I love to run. I got a couple German Shepherds, and I love to get out and go for a jog, and you know, do all those things that everybody likes to do. So,
very cool.
sadly, I don't get enough spare time, but you know, hey, I'm dying for my cause, right?
Right, definitely. So, what are your hopes for this CD and the rest of 2012?
You know what? I just want to reach as many people as possible, get them turned on to what Downtread's doing, and you know, hopefully find more people to enjoy what we're doing. If we can bring something, you know, hard and heavy with great guitars to the masses, and they're digging it, then I'm a happy man.
Cool.
We'll just keep rocking more shows, and we'll start working on the next album soon.
Cool. What do you have coming up in 2012? Any shows coming up, or?
Yeah, there's more shows with LA Guns this weekend. They're talking more Vince shows, so we'll just keep adding them as they're rolling in. You can check our website, downtread.com, and of course we have Facebook and you know, all those good things.
Great. Well, Brett, I enjoyed talking to you, and I thank you for coming on. And would you like to say any parting words?
No, just thank you for having us, and you know, thanks for checking out our band, Brian. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Great CD, man.
Thank you, dude.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.